All right, guys. Here we go. Time has come. Cooking for Dummies. So super excited to teach this one to you guys today. Um, me. Yeah. I'm the dummy, and I'm going to teach you how I learned to cook. This isn't really about flavor and taste and temperatures. This is about getting meals put together quickly so that you have meals throughout your week. These are my strategies. If you guys have any questions, please ask. I kept the slides really simple because I really want this to be a practical discussion of how. Okay. So the first thing is, why should we prep? Why should we spend extra time in our weekend or our off days to put meals together? The number one reason why we fall off of plans is because we didn't have the food. You were somewhere and you didn't have it with you. It wasn't available. And so you had to go make other choices, or you were put into a situation where you were hungry and you didn't have any other choice, right? Anyone have that happen to them? Happens to me on a regular basis. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why meal prepping is one of the successful actions of people who stay fit and healthy for a long time, is because it keeps it available. That's a big deal. Making sense? The other things that meal prepping can do besides access is time. If you think about, I'm big on time. You guys know that. You remember my time management talk. If you think about just the process of cooking a meal, you have to get everything out, right? And then you cook it, and then you clean everything up. And that takes at least 45 minutes for one meal, right? With the getting it out, setting it up, cooking it, and cleaning it up. Okay, maybe 30 minutes if you're really good, right? So if you spread that out over every lunch and every dinner, right? You have to multiply that by, let's say if it's 7 days, that's 14 times that 30 minutes at the fastest. But if you do a bunch of those meals all at once, the getting it out is all at once, and the cleaning it up is all at once, and you can cut way back on all of that time. Does that make sense? So you can actually save a lot of time by doing some meal prepping in advance. Cool? And then, of course, money. So what I do when I don't have food available is I go spend ridiculous amounts of money to eat on plan. One time, I'll tell my shrimp story. One time I was like, okay, it was carnivore. So I was doing a carnivore experiment where I was only eating meat. And I was so sick of certain meats because I'd been eating it for a while. And so I was like, I want some shrimp. I want some seafood. So I went and bought the most expensive shrimp in my life. How much did I spend that day? I don't remember. I wish I documented it. Each shrimp cost me like $7. Wow. Yeah. I spent a stupid amount of money on this lunch. It was the most expensive lunch I've ever bought. And all I ate was shrimp. And it was shrimp cocktail. It was just cold, big shrimps. And they were very expensive, right? Had I prepped my food, I would have saved me probably 60, 70 bucks that day. Right? So by having your food prepared, you don't then have to go decide if you're going to spend more money or eat off plan. Okay? You can definitely save money prepping. You can also buy things in bulk, right? And if you're doing the cooking and not paying someone else to do the cooking, that's very, very much a money saver. Worry. How many of you worry about your meals? Like, worry about your food. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Imagine if you could spend all that brain power and all that worry on other things besides your food. Well, with meal prepping, you can, right? Because you know where that next meal is coming from. You know that next meal is on your plan. You know it's going to provide you with enough protein. I'm really intimidated that Justin came to this talk. Hello, Chef Justin. I gave my disclaimer, okay? This is not about taste. Okay, good. He's a chef. He's a professional chef. So, good. So worry is a big reason. You can stop worrying because you know you have that food ready to go, okay? And then decision fatigue. This is something I recently learned about. Do you ever get tired of making decisions? Yeah? You get home to your spouse, you've been making decisions all day, and your spouse is like, what do you want to eat? And you're like, don't make me decide one more thing. Like, So decision fatigue is the idea that we get tired of constantly having to make decisions. And if you've made these decisions in advance about what you're going to eat for lunch and dinner, it can just help with that. It's just one less thing you got to think about, or two less things you got to think about in your day. Make sense? So meal prepping is super helpful for those reasons. So this is how I do it. These are my strategies. I go to the store and I pick 4 things of 4. So I go 4 proteins. I go to the meat section and I pick 4 proteins. Okay. So it's 4 different proteins. This is important for me because I get sick of eating the same stuff. If I have 8 meals of chicken, I will only eat 2 or 3 of those. And then I'm like, meh, don't want it. So I need to have variety. So I'll go a fish. Sometimes it's scallops. Sometimes it's like salmon. Sometimes it's shrimp, whatever. I like seafood. It'll be like a pork sometimes, or it'll be like steak or ground beef or ground turkey. I'm not really picky about my proteins. I'm picky about, I only get picky when I've had too much of it, right? So I'm good with like ground turkey or ground beef, or even like ground pork, or just different things, right? In different ways and different cuts and different styles of it helps me not get blech with it halfway through my week. So I pick 4. Okay. And then I pick 4 main vegetables. So, and I've done this in different ways. Like, okay, like I'll do broccoli, I'll do cauliflower, I'll do asparagus, I don't like zucchini. Full disclosure, that's not for me. Okay. Right. But I'll pick 4 different vegetables. But then I also pick 4 more vegetables in the starch family. So the starchy vegetables are going to give you more carbohydrates than these types of vegetables up here. And so because we're not doing like rice and bread, I need to add in, and you need to add in, the starchy vegetables, because that's going to give you those carbohydrates that you are going to need and crave eating the way you're eating, right? So I'll pick like some potatoes. Sometimes I do little potatoes, big potatoes, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, whatever, right? You just mix it up, try different potatoes. Corn is another really good starchy vegetable, which can help you satiate that need for rice or pasta, right? Because corn gives you that same kind of sweetness that those grains would give you. And butternut squash is another good one to do that with. Peas is another good starchy vegetable that gives you a good dose of carbohydrates. Don't like peas? No on the peas. Yeah? No, okay, no peas. So I pick 4 and 4. Another strategy here, and I've really liked anyone shop at Costco? Okay. Costco has these really good frozen bags of vegetables. They're combined, they're mixed. Yeah. Where they're already chopped, they're already cleaned, and you throw them on a sheet pan and throw them in the oven and makes them really, really good. So those are another way to do it if you like more variety. If you don't like to just eat broccoli, I personally like to just eat broccoli, just eat cauliflower, rather than having it all combined. That's just my own preference. And then the last thing, and the thing that makes this stuff edible for me, is the seasonings, the sauces, the toppings. I like those Kevin's. I really like those Kevin's sauces. They inspire me to like make something a little more delicious. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about? So yeah, so Kevin, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you can do both. Some have the protein with it, but you can buy just his sauces. Rayleigh's, Bel Air. Should have brought one in. Yeah. Okay, so Kevin is a dude from Sacramento who started this company to help make family meals easier. And they use monk fruit rather than sugar. Okay. They're gluten-free. There's like, my favorite is the coconut Thai one, which I've done chicken, I've done shrimp, I've done different meats with, but it just helps make it more exciting. What? I think so. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to check. This is where we start to look at like, okay, am I going to eat this in 2 days? Right? And it's like, if you're not going to eat the food, then there's no point. You need to make it appetizing. That's the hardest part of meal prepping. Yeah? Anyone had meal prep food and you're like, I don't want it. Yeah. It's like, meh, I don't want it. You need to make it so you want it. Okay? That's, I would say, more important than anything. You got to make it so you want it, right? So the toppings, the spices that you use, finding seasoning mixes without sugar, you got to be really careful because a lot of these seasonings, you flip it over and the very first ingredient is sugar, right? So finding seasonings that don't have sugar, I like taco seasonings for a lot of my stuff. Like I like, a little spicy, a little sweet. Other than using Kevin's, you can make like your own coconut Thai sauces. It's not as hard as you think. I'm going to teach you guys about all the recipe stuff in a minute. Don't worry. But finding things that you can add to it. I add bacon to a lot of things. If there's bacon on top of the food, I'm eating it, right? I add olives. I add capers. I add, right, just those little things that give it a little extra flavor and differences in flavor. The big thing is that fatigue of eating that same flavor over and over and over. You got to change it up. You got to make it different. And that will help make it more appetizing for you to eat. Does that make sense? So it's 4 things. It's meat, vegetable, starch, and then something to make it yummy, right? The seasonings. If you like garlic, and garlic it up, right? Adding in onions, adding in those sort of things that just give it another layer of flavor besides just the food. Okay? Tracking? Okay.
By the way,
yeah.
Lowry's garlic salt.
Yeah, no bueno. I know.
Lowry's seasoned salt.
Yeah, no bueno. Ketchup.
That's got sugar too.
He knows. He knows. He knows. Okay, so let's talk shortcuts, right? That's what this is all about. This is about being able to cook quickly. So if you want to be able to meal prep 4 meals in under an hour, you need someone else to cut and wash your food. That can take a long time. You can buy food that's already been cut and washed. Do it. Just do it. Make it easy on yourself. Yeah, you'll spend a couple extra dollars. But you know what? You know how much it costs to get someone in your kitchen to cut and wash it for you? A lot more than a couple extra dollars, right? Pay whoever that is who's cutting and washing it for you that couple extra dollars so you don't have to do it, okay? Go to that section where they have all the salad bags, and you know what I'm talking about? All the salad, okay, and then just like over to the left or over to the right, there's a whole bunch of sections of vegetables cut and washed and ready to go. Anyone shop at Trader Joe's? Cool. Trader Joe's, great. I mean, they've got stir fries in these little containers with like all the goodness, little baby corns and mushrooms, and they're already cut and washed. You just boop into the pan, put in the protein, done, right? Yeah, you can spice it up. I mean, it's so simple. It's so easy. And they have different varieties. You need the variety. Cool. So that's probably the most important trick. Get someone else to cut and wash your vegetables for you. Okay. Even your fruit can be done that way. Yeah. Did you just me? Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I'm doing this. You can even get your food pre-cooked, right? Like a lot of proteins. Costco has those like skewered chickens and already cooked tri-tip. And, it's not my favorite personally, but you can. You can make this really easy on yourself. You can get pre-cooked meat, pre-cut, pre-washed, whatever your struggle is, have someone else do it. Pay a couple extra bucks, okay? It'll be a lot cheaper than you not having the food prepared and going and buying $80 worth of shrimp. Seriously. Pre-chewed food. Hospitals, they just put it straight into your belly. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to get busy on how do you create yummy recipes? How do you bake? How do you come up with ideas when you're like decision fatigued out, right? So the way that I do it is with AI, is with ChatGPT. Anyone ever use ChatGPT? Great. Download it on your phone if you don't have it. We're going to practice now. Get your phones out. Boop, 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 boop. Open up ChatGPT. This is where Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, he can do anything. Okay, so download the app. It's called Chat GPT. Does anyone pay for Chat GPT? Cool. Okay, so those of you who pay for it, you can create project folders. Okay, the project folders, you can give instructions that will apply to everything you do inside that project. And so if you are going to pay for GPT, I recommend a recipe project. And in the project folder, you will describe, I want all these recipes to use whole foods, no flours, no sugars, no, that's probably all you got to say, right? I can tell you what my instructions say for that project. But then every time you ask it for a recipe, give me a birthday cake recipe. If you're working within that project, your Chat GPT will only generate birthday cake recipes that are whole foods, no flours, no sugar. Only. Yeah. That's how we started our brownies. My daughter wanted to make a birthday cake for my mom. And so we asked Chat GPT, how do we make a chocolate cake without flour, without sugar? And that's how we started making chocolate brownies. Mm-hmm. Go for it. Get in there. It's too much to explain. Just kidding. Yeah. So everybody in? Everyone got their Chat GPT open? Okay. I want you to think of your favorite dish. Your favorite dish. It could be a dessert. It could be a dinner. It could be anything you want. Your favorite dish. And then I want you to ask your friend Chat GPT, give me a recipe for your favorite dish. Write it out without any sugars or any flours and see what he comes up with. Ready, go. Now, sometimes, believe it or not, he isn't perfect. I've named my Chat GPT. I recommend you name yours. Oh, Greg. His name's Greg. Yeah. Yeah, because his first name is Greg, his second name is Paul, and his last name is Thomas, GPT. Wow. Yeah. So my Chat GPT is named Greg. So sometimes Greg does make mistakes. He's not perfect, but you can correct him. He's very correctable. He's very coachable, right? So if he throws in like an almond flour, for example, you can say, no, Greg, I said no flours. And oh, my bad. He's very, very humble. My bad. And then he'll fix it for you. Okay. You can correct him all you want. He's never going to get mad at you for correcting him. He's a computer. He's perfect in that way. Mm-hmm. Some people do get mad at their Gregs. I don't, because I do know he's a computer. Yeah. I don't get mad at him. I do say, oh, silly Greg. That's a mistake. Yeah. You can. Mm-hmm. You can also make your own chocolate chips, just like we were talking about the cocoa and the coconut oil. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I would say, hey, can I use protein powder instead of monk fruit sweetener? And he'll be like, oh, of course, Miss Valerie. You could also tell him your name and he'll call you by name.
I just did brownies because they were sitting there and it comes up with bananas for the sweetness.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Bananas, dates, protein powder are the things that are most used to sweeten baked goods that are on plant. Bananas, dates, protein powder.
Yeah, mine are dates too.
Yeah.
Monk fruit or, yeah.
So I don't use monk fruit or allulose or stevia or anything like that. That's probably also in my instructions, in my project instructions, is like, I don't want to use any of that stuff. But you can tailor make this to you and your needs. Cool? Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys ready for another version? Yeah. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. You ever like go to your fridge, you haven't been to the store lately, and you're like, what am I going to make for dinner? You're like, I'd rather just order a pizza than figure this out, right? So your Chat GPT, you can literally type in, I have raw chicken, I have a can of corn, I have some broccoli, I have some Parmesan cheese. Give me something to make with this stuff. And it will tell you how to put something together for dinner. So you can reverse engineer it. You can go, here's what I have. You can, even crazier, you can take a picture of your refrigerator, send it to him and say, give me something to make for dinner out of what I already have. And he will go, here's an idea. Or he'll go, you can even say, give me 5 ideas. And he'll give you 5 ideas. Okay? He's the best friend you always needed in your kitchen, besides Justin. If you had Justin in your kitchen, you don't need Greg. But we don't all have Justin in our kitchen. Okay? Huh? He calls him Al. AI, Al. Yeah. His GPT is Al. My GPT is Greg. They're friends. Yeah, they hang out. They hang out.
Now with yours, when you're asking all those questions, are you paying for that or is it the free one?
It's you can do all of that for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
The folders you have.
The folders, like if you want to create projects, you have to pay for the app. Yeah. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. I use it for a lot of stuff too. And I have a lot of different, I don't want my chef Greg to get confused with my coach Greg, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. My biology teacher Greg, don't want him to be confused with. So I keep him separate. All his personas. Okay, so that is the trick. Okay, I don't have any other tricks for you. I have bookshelves of cookbooks. Okay, I have bookshelves of nutrition books with recipes in the back. If you ever want to borrow them, there's half of them are in here. Okay, bookshelves of these. Okay, but they are not convenient enough. They require too much work to trade out the things in those recipes that are not on plan for me. So I use ChatGPT. I use it a ton. I highly recommend it. Make it your new best friend in the kitchen. Okay? If you have a recipe, let's say, come on in, guys. If you have a family recipe that you're like, but these are my favorite, right? And I got it. Hey, give it a shot with ChatGPT. Take a photo of the recipe and say, make this sugar-free and flour-free. And see what he says, right? There's no limits with this guy. He'll never get frustrated with you for being like, no, not good enough, right? Just ask away. Tell him to make changes, right? He will tell you how much to put in to replace the sugar, right? That's one of the questions. Well, how many bananas to make it sweet enough instead of that half a cup of sugar, right? And start just trying stuff. That's the key. You got to just start trying stuff. Cool? Okay. Does anyone have any questions or feel like, but what if this or what if that? No? Wow. Okay. Do you feel like you know how to fish now?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
More than a worm.
So this is more. I gave you more than a worm. I gave you a rod. I wish I knew more about fishing right now. I really don't. Okay, so here's the timeline. I do this in under an hour every week now. So the first thing I do when I get home from the store or after I've had my groceries delivered is I lay out my meals. So on my countertops, I go, okay, these things are going together. These things are going together. These things are going together. And these things are going together. Okay. So like if I'm going to do pork, I'm going to do pork with my cauliflower and these seasonings. I pull it all out. Right. And then I do, okay, here's what my chicken's going to go with. Here's what my egg dish, I do breakfast too. So I'll do like scrambled eggs and bacon and sweet potatoes. That's what I did yesterday. So I lay it out. I do layout first and I spend about 5 minutes doing that, right? I go through my cabinets. I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. Oh, that'll be fun. Okay. Then I preheat the oven, get my sheet pans out. I do basically in order to do it in an hour, you got to have everything going at the same time. You can't do one and then do one. And that's what I learned, right? Like if you do one at a time, you're going to be in there for 4 hours. You got to get it all moving at the same time. So for the next 5 minutes, I'm prepping everything. So I get pans on the stove or sheet pans lined with tin foil. That makes for really easy cleanup. I get water going for steaming vegetables. I use cast iron. So I make sure there's olive oil heating up in them and get the oven going. Cool. Then I get the proteins going because they take the longest. So I usually use the smoker outside. I use the air fryer and I use my oven. depending on what I'm making. And I'll use the stovetop, like if I'm doing ground beef or ground turkey. So the big things, like the big chunks of meat, need to go on first. I do from biggest to smallest, right? Get those all rocking because they can take up to like 30, 40 minutes, depending on how big the pieces of meat are. Then I start cooking the veggies. I try to undercook things because when you reheat them, they are going to cook a little bit more, and I don't like mushy veggies. So when I cook veggies, it's like flash, like steam, okay, done, get them off the heat so they don't get soggy. And the starches, of course, you got to get those going if they're like big potatoes and things like that. If you have less time, when you get to your potatoes, just cut them up in advance, throw them on a sheet pan. It'll be done in like 15 minutes rather than 40 minutes, right? Like a big fat potato. Yeah, depending on how fat they are, right? So that's one trick I'll do with sweet potatoes is I'll slice them and then throw them on a sheet pan, and they cook pretty quick. Like discs. Okay. Yeah. Or you can chop them in cubes, but that takes a long time. Yeah. The portion meals, this is everything is once you make it, you need to just lay it on the counter and let it cool, right? Remember, you're not cooking up hot meals. This is all going into the fridge. So undercook it, lay it out on the counter, let it cool, and then I throw it into my dishes. Does everybody have dishes? Like Tupperwares? So you got to have these for meal prepping. You got to be able to put the meal together. Rather than having like big containers of chicken and big containers of this, you need to put the meals together in these dishes so you can take it with you and heat it up.
Are you weighing your food?
Sometimes. It depends on like what stage I'm in and what I'm doing with my food. But yes, when I weigh the food, what I do is I put the actual dish on the scale, clear it out, and then load it, right? And so I can see how much I'm putting in as I'm putting it in.
So how do we know?
Just for yourself, you're making it for your whole family, right?
Sometimes I meal prep for my mom, I meal prep for Michael, and I meal prep for me. The kids, not really, right? But if we all know there's 6 ounces of chicken in these dishes, right? Then depending on my mom and I have basically the same needs. Michael needs to add protein. So what I do for him is I make 6-ounce meals, right? And he needs more than that. We'll do like bags of tri-tip or bags of smoked chicken thighs, right? That he will add in to what we already meal prepped. Because it does get really confusing. We've tried different things. We've tried like using a whiteboard marker and writing on the lid, this is an 8-ounce meal, this is a 6-ounce meal. It's really about the protein that's the concern for us because that's where our needs are different. So, but now what I do is I just do all the same, and then there's additional protein that he can add in as a snack or on top of what he's already eating.
So like potatoes, starch, corn, how much should we have? How many ounces?
So you're going to do your on-ramp talk with me right after class, and we're going to talk about the fruits and vegetables. Yeah, that's a perfect question. You're right on cue, Karen. Yeah. So, yes.
Do you ever freeze them? Because I don't know that I trust a meal that I made on Sunday to eat on Friday.
I don't freeze them.
You just let it sit in the refrigerator for 5 or 6 days.
5 days is my tops. Yeah.
Never gotten sick.
I don't get sick from my food. No. Yeah. But everyone else in my household's barfing, but not me. No, I've never gotten sick from it. 5 days is kind of my limit. I'm like, after 5 days, I'm like, okay, if I haven't eaten it, I'll give it to the dogs.
Has anybody ever tried to freeze a couple of them?
I think some people have. It wouldn't work for my life to have it frozen, because it wouldn't defrost enough. I don't think it would work.
Doesn't it take away some of the nutrients to do that? Freeze it?
I don't.
You just nuke it on. Like you would have frozen meals.
I don't know, but you know what? I'll try it for you. Yeah, I'll freeze one. I'll freeze one this week. I'll see how it shakes out. I've never had any issue with my meal prepped food. My prep food has never been an issue. Once it's been cooked, like meats, once they've been cooked, they do last longer. You can't leave raw chicken, raw meat in your fridge as long as you can leave cooked meat in your fridge. But yeah, 5 days is kind of my max, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah.
I cook the veggies on a sheet pan, and when I go to eat them a couple days later, they're like mushy.
Yeah, so you got to undercook them. Yeah. Yeah, you got to really undercook them. I like to cook them on a really high, like my favorite with cauliflower is I toss it in olive oil and garlic, and salt and pepper, and then throw them in the air or in the oven for like 5 to 10 minutes, like really fast on high heat, because I like them to get like golden, but still like very crunchy. I like mine because then when you microwave it, it's gonna get softer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Any other questions? Was this helpful?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming.
And I want to marry you so you cook me food.
You want to marry me?
Yes, you can make all-
We'll talk to Michael about it. We can talk to Michael.
Such a good wife. Are you the coach today?
No, Josh is.
Because I don't have anything to do.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, okay, great. We're gonna go in the office though.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Thank you, Mo.
You're welcome. You're welcome.